Hello, my name is Finch, and today I'm finally giving myself an art persona. This was a very personal experience. I've struggled with drawing myself since I was a kid. I think it's because in middle school, our teacher had us try out various art styles and materials. Which sounds great on paper, but we always did a self-portrait. What's worse is we hadn't really learned any art fundamentals. I was constantly drawing my own face, but with no grasp of how to do faces well. So most of the time, it looked kind of ugly. And that can be incredibly demoralizing. I'm sure our teacher just wanted us to have a consistent and easy-to-access subject, but couldn't we have chosen like a fruit or something? So I never made an artsona, and doing so now was really hard. It felt like every time I sat down to work on this, there was a new list of things I hated about it. I'm not usually this finicky about my work, but this is supposed to represent me. And if it felt wrong, then it wasn't me. So I started by gathering a bunch of pictures of myself where I felt most like myself. I wanted to be really honest about what I actually looked like to start, but art doesn't look like real life. When I drew my face with perfect proportions, it looked... ugh. I would keep this first draft as a reference, but then stylized it a lot after this. You might notice that I revisit and alter the proportions on my face more than anything else. Another difficult thing with this is that guidelines have never really helped me to draw faces. Using the nose, the eyebrows, and ears as signposts has never really worked for me. And perhaps the reason why is because my ears are a little different from each other. Most people wouldn't notice, but one ear is higher on my head and smaller than the other one. I didn't notice this until I wore glasses as a kid, and the arm kept pressing down on my ear and turning it red. When I showed my mom, she noticed for the first time. We had my glasses custom shaped to my head after that. Now it was time to pick an outfit. I know nothing of fashion and my character design still needs a lot of work. So this was probably the hardest part for me. I started by just drawing any clothes I had on in the pictures I had gathered, figuring that if I felt comfortable in those clothes, there had to be something that felt like me about them. I wanted to stay within the realm of fantasy that I prefer to draw in, so it's good that one of these pictures was what I wore to a Ren fair. I filled in each clothing item with a neutral gray and acted like it was a piccrew. I spent a lot of time looking at different combinations till I found something I really liked. Then it was time for my skin tone, eye, and hair color. Lighting can have a drastic effect on skin tone, so my method was to eyedrop the mid-tone in each picture and combine them all. And I think I got a color that's reasonably accurate. I did the same process with my hair and got good results. But then came my eyes. So, my eyes legally are hazel. That is what I told the DMV. But they've been called blue, gray, brown, and green. Not only do my eyes shift color a lot depending on the light, but upon closer inspection, they have an inner ring of a second color. It kinda looks like a sunflower to me, with very thin petals. Like some dandelion hybrid. Sunlion. Or dandyflower. I tried to eyedrop, but I ended up just picking something that looked kinda dark green. I then jotted in some base colors for my outfit and proceeded to change those at random throughout the process. Finally, it was time to add some fantasy elements. In character design, I've always been drawn to the ears and tail combo. It just heightens expression and makes things so much more readable. A very appealing concept to my autistic brain. Anyways, my husband won't stop calling me a furry. I wasn't really thinking of any animal in particular when designing the ears, but I wanted them to be roughly the same color as my hair, and the same height as my ears in real life. Minus the slightly different heights thing. I didn't want to face the cat ear dilemma where I have to choose between an egg head or 4 ears. This seemed like a pretty good solution. The ears have an impish quality about them that I really like. I referenced Catra's ears from She-Ra, and I really like the little fluffs that look a bit like fire. Similarly, the lion tail looks a bit like fire on the tip. Don't worry about the fire yet, we'll get back to that. And now for my favorite part, the wings. After all, I'm the fluttering finch. Ever since I was a kid, I found myself imagining I had wings. The idea of flying without machinery is something I still find myself yearning for. The closest I ever got was those harness roller coaster things. It just seems so freeing, so exhilarating. My connection to fire is a bit more recent. It came after watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, hearing Iroh describe the 4 nations, and then reflecting on what element I identified with. Fire was a pretty good match for me. That's why my symbol is an orange feather, because for a long time I've imagined myself with phoenix wings. I forgot to record most of my shading process, but hot dang, look at those overalls! I am so proud of the shading on that. Holy frijoles, my studies have paid off! I say this a lot at the end of my videos, but I'm actually really proud of what I've made. It took a lot of tweaks and a lot of self-reflection, but I've made an artsona for myself. I'll probably be making some sprites of it soon, so you can expect to see more of me in future videos. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you in the next one. Also, I'm trying out a new editing and writing style. Tell me what you think.